Life is not defined by the circumstances you were handed, but by the choices you decide to make every single day. Struggles will come, pain will test you, and failures may try to break you, but none of these things have the power to define your worth unless you let them. What truly defines you is the strength of your character, the resilience of your personality, and the courage to rise every time you fall. Transformation begins the moment you stop blaming the world and start looking within. When you choose kindness over anger, gratitude over complaints, patience over haste, and hope over despair, you reshape your reality. Your personality is the reflection of the choices you make in silence when no one is watching. It is built not by the ease of your life, but by how you handle its storms. No one succeeds by accident. Success is the fruit of consistent character, integrity, and perseverance. When your personality is grounded in humility and compassion, you naturally draw respect and admiration. When it is filled with positivity, you inspire those around you. When it is disciplined, you turn dreams into reality. Do not wait for the perfect time, because perfection is an illusion. Begin where you are with what you have. Every smile you share, every word of encouragement you give, every act of love you perform not only changes another person's life, but also transforms your own. The more you give, the more life gives back. You were never created to stay broken, bitter, or lost. You were made to shine, to uplift, and to leave behind a legacy of strength and humanity. When you fix your personality by letting go of negativity, embracing forgiveness, nurturing empathy, and walking with courage, you don't just change yourself, you change your entire life. Choose today to become the best version of yourself, not for applause, not for recognition, but because the world needs light, and you are capable of being that light. The power to transform your life has always been in your hands. It begins with who you decide to be. Your personality is the foundation of everything you experience in life, and the truth is, it silently dictates your destiny far more than your circumstances ever will. People often believe that success, happiness, or fulfillment is a product of luck, wealth, education, or opportunities. But the deeper reality is that it is the way you carry yourself, the energy you radiate, and the mindset you nurture that truly determine the quality of your life. Your personality is not just about how you appear to others. It is about who you are when no one is watching, the values you hold on to, and the attitude you bring into every situation. The way you think, speak, and act becomes a pattern that either builds your life upward or keeps you trapped in cycles of frustration and disappointment. A personality rooted in negativity, arrogance, or fear will constantly repel growth, no matter how much talent or opportunity comes your way. On the other hand, a personality grounded in positivity, humility, and determination creates doors where none seem to exist. When you understand that your personality is the compass that directs your life, you begin to treat it with the seriousness it deserves. Think about how people respond to you in daily life. Your personality influences the relationships you attract, the opportunities you receive, and the level of trust people place in you. A smile, a kind word, or a calm presence in the middle of chaos has the power to transform not only your own situation, but also the way others perceive and engage with you. People are drawn to those who radiate authenticity and strength, and that magnetism is not born out of wealth or appearance, but out of character. If you want your life to transform, the first step is not waiting for the world to treat you differently, but choosing to cultivate a personality that commands respect and spreads positivity. Your personality also shapes the way you respond to challenges. Life will not always present smooth paths. There will be obstacles, disappointments, and moments that test your patience. But your personality determines whether those trials make you bitter or wiser. A resilient personality refuses to surrender to despair. It sees lessons where others see loss, and it chooses growth where others give up. This is why two people can face the same hardship and walk away with completely different lives. Because one allowed their personality to be ruled by fear, while the other allowed it to be guided by courage. It is easy to focus on building skills, chasing degrees, or gathering wealth, but without a personality that supports and sustains those achievements, they crumble under pressure. What good is talent if your personality pushes people away? Use is knowledge if arrogance prevents you from listening and learning. What is the worth of wealth if your character cannot earn trust and respect? The truth is, personality is the invisible force that either unlocks the value of your abilities or diminishes them entirely. Every interaction in life is an exchange of personalities before it is an exchange of ideas. People don't just remember what you said or what you did, they remember how you made them feel. When your personality exudes empathy, respect, and confidence, you create a lasting impression that opens hearts and doors. When your personality carries bitterness, ego, or selfishness, you close doors even before you have the chance to walk through them. Transforming your life begins when you make the conscious decision to refine who you are from the inside out. You cannot control everything that happens around you, but you can control your responses, your energy, and your perspective. Your personality is a reflection of those choices. By nurturing patience, showing kindness, practicing gratitude, and standing firm in integrity, you design a version of yourself that naturally attracts growth. You stop chasing after success and begin to realize that success itself is drawn to the kind of person you become. If your life feels stuck, if opportunities seem far away, or if relationships keep breaking down, the place to start is not outside but within. Ask yourself, what energy am I giving to the world? What kind of personality am I shaping through my daily actions and choices? The answers to these questions hold more power than you realize, because ultimately, your personality shapes your destiny. And when you align it with strength, humility, and authenticity, life has no choice but to transform in your favor. Resilience is the unseen strength that carries you through the darkest hours of life, and it is the true measure of who you are. Everyone experiences setbacks, failures, disappointments, and heartbreaks, but the difference between those who remain stuck and those who move forward lies in their ability to rise again. Life does not test you in the moments of comfort. It tests you in the moments when everything seems to fall apart. How you respond when you are broken, when your plans collapse, and when the weight of the world rests on your shoulders reveals the depth of your character far more than any success story ever could. It is easy to feel strong when everything is going well, but real strength is proven when life strips you of the things you once leaned on. That is when resilience steps in, not as an instant solution, but as a quiet force that whispers, try again, take one more step, don't give up. Resilience does not erase pain or deny difficulty. It transforms pain into wisdom and difficulty into fuel for growth. Without resilience, challenges will crush you, but with it, those same challenges become the very reason you rise to greater heights. Failures are not the end. They are lessons disguised in disappointment. Yet so many people give up at the first sign of defeat, believing that failure is a final judgment on their worth. Resilient people, however, understand that failure is feedback. It is an opportunity to refine, to adjust, to discover new paths. When you embrace failure with resilience, you stop asking, why me? And begin to ask, what is this teaching me? That shift in mindset is powerful because it turns obstacles into stepping stones and turns losses into preparation for the victories ahead. Resilience also demands patience because not every wound heals overnight and not every dream is built in a moment. Some seasons of life require you to endure without visible progress. It is in these seasons that resilience teaches you persistence. Even when there is no applause, no recognition, and no immediate reward, you keep moving forward because you trust that the process is shaping you into someone stronger. Resilience does not promise a quick escape. It promises a powerful transformation, where you come out tougher, wiser, and more compassionate than before. What makes resilience extraordinary is that it is not only about survival, but also about thriving after hardship. Some people merely survive their pain. They carry it like a burden, allowing it to harden their hearts. But resilient individuals rise from their struggles with greater empathy, deeper strength, and a renewed sense of purpose. They use their scars as reminders of what they overcame and as evidence that they are capable of withstanding even greater storms. Resilience turns suffering into a story of hope that inspires others to keep going. Every great leader, innovator, or changemaker in history has been marked by resilience. Their journeys were never smooth. In fact, they were often filled with rejection, criticism, and failures. Yet their refusal to give in, their resilience in the face of adversity, is what set them apart. They understood that resilience is not about avoiding pain, but about refusing to be defined by it. This lesson applies to every life, no matter how big or small the challenge. Your story may not make headlines, but your resilience can transform your life and the lives of those around you. Resilience also protects your spirit from bitterness. Without resilience, difficulties can make you resentful, angry, or hopeless. But with resilience, hardships purify you, teaching you to let go of what you cannot control and focus on what you can. Resilience teaches you the art of surrendering without giving up, surrendering the need to control everything while never abandoning your determination to keep moving forward. The beauty of resilience is that it grows stronger every time you use it. Each trial you endure builds your capacity for the next one. Every storm you survive becomes proof that you are tougher than you imagined. With resilience, you begin to face the unknown with courage instead of fear, because you carry with you the certainty that no matter what comes, you have the power to endure and rise again. Resilience is not a gift given to a select few, it is a choice available to everyone. It is cultivated in the small decisions you make daily, to rise instead of staying down, to forgive instead of holding on to anger, to try again instead of surrendering to failure. And as you choose resilience over and over again, it becomes the defining force of your life. It is the shield that protects your hope, the engine that fuels your dreams, and the proof that nothing, no failure, no setback, no heartbreak, has the power to define you unless you let it. Character is the invisible foundation on which true success is built, and without it, no achievement can last. Skills may open doors, talents may attract opportunities, and wealth may bring temporary recognition, but it is character that sustains all of these and gives them meaning. Success without character is fragile, like a structure without a base. It may rise high for a moment, but it will collapse when the winds of life blow strong. The strength of who you are matters more than the size of what you achieve. Character is not shaped in moments of applause, it is shaped in moments of silence. It is the decision to do what is right when no one is watching, to remain honest when dishonesty seems easier, and to remain humble when pride tempts you. These invisible choices build the type of person you are becoming. And in the long run, the world does not just reward what you do, it rewards who you are. When your character radiates integrity, humility, and respect, people are drawn to trust you, and trust is the currency of lasting success. It is easy to impress people with skills, but it is character that earns loyalty. Employers may hire you for your resume, but they will keep you for your reliability. Friends may admire your talents, but they will stay because of your kindness and loyalty. Relationships, whether personal or professional, are built on character far more than on accomplishments. A person with extraordinary talent but poor character may rise quickly, but will often fall just as fast. Because people do not invest in talent alone. They invest in trustworthiness, consistency, and values. Character also determines how you handle power. Many people dream of success, but not all can carry it without being crushed by pride or greed. Success is a weight, and only a strong character can carry it responsibly. Without character, power becomes destructive. With character, power becomes a tool for uplifting others. When humility and compassion shape your decisions, your success not only benefits you, but also becomes a blessing to those around you. That is the mark of true greatness, using your achievements not just for yourself, but to inspire and support others. One of the most significant aspects of character is integrity. Integrity means that your words and actions align, that you are the same person in public as you are in private. It builds credibility, and credibility is priceless. In a world where appearances are often deceiving, people crave authenticity. When you live with integrity, you do not need to convince others of your worth. Your life speaks for itself. This silent strength is what makes others respect you deeply, even if they do not always agree with you. Humility is another cornerstone of character. It is the quiet confidence of knowing your worth without needing to boast. Humility allows you to keep learning. because it teaches you that no matter how much you know, there is always more to understand. It allows you to respect others because it reminds you that every person carries value, regardless of status or position. Humility keeps you grounded even when success elevates you, and it protects you from arrogance, which has destroyed countless people who thought they were invincible. Compassion, too, is a reflection of strong character. A truly successful person is not one who stands alone at the top, but one who lifts others along the way. Compassion reminds you that success is not meaningful if it is achieved at the expense of others. It allows you to see beyond yourself, to empathize with the struggles of those around you, and to use your influence to create positive change. Compassionate leaders are remembered long after their titles fade, because they touched lives, not just markets or numbers. When character is strong, failure cannot destroy you, and success cannot corrupt you. Challenges may bend you, but they will not break you, because you are rooted in values that do not shift with circumstances. Similarly, recognition may flatter you, but it will not blind you, because you know your worth is not in applause but in authenticity. This balance is what allows people with strong character to sustain success for decades while others rise and fall like fleeting shadows. Your reputation may be built by what you achieve, but your legacy is determined by who you are. The world forgets awards, titles, and wealth, but it never forgets kindness, honesty, and respect. Character leaves an imprint far deeper than success alone ever could. And in the end, success without character is empty, but character itself is a form of success, one that cannot be stolen, broken, or lost. If you want lasting success, focus first on building your character. Skills can be learned, opportunities can come and go, but the person you're becoming is permanent. Choose integrity when dishonesty is tempting, humility when pride whispers, and compassion when indifference seems easier. These choices may not always bring instant rewards, but they shape a life of meaning and influence. And when your character becomes your greatest strength, success will not just follow you, it will stay with you because it has found a foundation it can trust. Giving is one of the most powerful forces that can transform not only your life, but also the lives of those around you. True giving is not measured by the size of the gift, but by the intention behind it. It is not about how much you have, but about how much heart you put into sharing what you do have. Every act of kindness, every word of encouragement, every moment of compassion plants a seed that eventually comes back to you in ways you cannot always predict. When you give, you are not just helping others, you are reshaping your own character, your own destiny, and your own joy. Many people live under the illusion that holding on tightly to what they have will secure their happiness. But in reality, selfishness breeds emptiness, while generosity creates abundance. The moment you give, you step into a cycle of growth. When you uplift someone with kindness, you uplift yourself as well. When you share hope with another person, your own heart becomes lighter. When you choose gratitude and giving over bitterness and greed, your perspective shifts and your life begins to open in beautiful ways. Giving does not always have to be material. Sometimes the most powerful gifts are invisible. The gift of listening when someone feels unheard. The gift of encouragement when someone feels like giving up. The gift of forgiveness when bitterness could have taken its place. These forms of giving may not cost you money, but they cost you something even greater: your time, your attention, and your willingness to care. These are the kinds of gifts that people carry with them for a lifetime, because they remind them of their worth and humanity. True giving transforms your relationships. It builds bridges where there were walls, and it nurtures connections that are built on trust and love rather than on convenience or gain. A person who gives selflessly draws others near, because generosity creates safety and warmth. People feel seen and valued in your presence, and that is a rare gift in a world that often feels cold and competitive. When your personality radiates giving, you do not need to chase opportunities. Opportunities are drawn to you because people want to be near that kind of energy. Giving also shapes your inner world. It frees you from the prison of comparison and competition. When you are focused on giving, you no longer measure your life by what you lack, but by what you can share. That shift changes everything. It turns jealousy into gratitude, fear into faith, and scarcity into abundance. You begin to see that no matter how little you think you have, there is always something within you that can bring light into someone else's darkness. And in doing so, you discover that your own darkness begins to fade. The act of giving has a way of multiplying. A single word of encouragement can inspire someone to keep fighting. A single act of kindness can ripple into countless other acts. You may never know the full impact of your giving, but the truth is that the world is changed in small ways every day by those who choose to give instead of keeping everything for themselves. In this way, giving becomes a legacy. It outlives you, because the people you touch will go on to touch others. Even in your lowest moments, you still have something to give. Sometimes giving when you're broken is the most transformative act of all, because it proves that your pain cannot steal your humanity. It proves that no matter what life takes from you, you still have the power to contribute. And often, it is in giving during those moments that healing begins to take root in your own heart. Your generosity becomes a bridge not only for others, but also for your own recovery. It is important to remember that giving is not about recognition. True giving is quiet, humble, and sincere. It does not demand applause or gratitude. It flows from the heart because you understand that the world needs more love, more kindness, more light. And when you live with that awareness, your life becomes rich in ways money can never measure. You may not always receive back from the same people you give to, but life has a way of returning blessings through unexpected doors. The more you give, the more you grow. The more you grow, the more you realize that giving is not a burden, but a privilege. To give means that you still have something within you worth sharing. To give means that you are stronger than your circumstances. To give means that you are choosing to live not just for yourself, but for something bigger. And in that choice lies true fulfillment, the kind that no possession, title, or achievement can ever provide. When you make giving a way of life, you stop asking, "What can I get?" and begin asking, "What can I give?" That single shift in perspective transforms your relationships, your opportunities, your happiness, and ultimately your entire existence. Because in the end, the greatest measure of a life well lived is not in how much you collected, but in how much you contributed. And when giving becomes your legacy, you will never be forgotten. The greatest truth you must understand is that the power to change your life has always been in your hands. Too often, people wait for circumstances to improve, for opportunities to appear, or for someone else to save them. They believe transformation will come when life becomes easier or when luck finally turns in their favor. But the reality is, nothing outside of you has the power to permanently change your life. The only lasting transformation happens when you make the decision to change yourself, from your mindset to your choices to your personality. Every day you wake up with two options: continue living as you are, or take the steps, however small, to become the person you are capable of being. Waiting for tomorrow, waiting for the perfect moment, or waiting for someone else to fix things only delays your growth. The truth is, there is no perfect time. The only time you have is now. And the only person responsible for shaping your future is you. When you fully accept this truth, you stop waiting for change and begin creating it. The first step toward change lies in your mindset. Your thoughts are the architects of your reality. If you fill your mind with fear, doubt, and negativity, your life will reflect exactly that. But if you choose to nurture hope, courage, and determination, your world begins to shift in ways you never imagined. The way you think shapes the way you act, and the way you act shapes the life you experience. By choosing empowering thoughts, you give yourself permission to break free from limitations and design a new path forward. Change also requires responsibility. It is easy to blame circumstances, people, or the past for the state of your life, but blame keeps you stuck. The moment you take responsibility, you reclaim your power. Responsibility does not mean everything is your fault. It means you accept that everything is your choice from this moment on. You may not control what happened yesterday, but you absolutely control how you respond today. That shift in ownership is the turning point from being a victim of life to being the author of it. Another powerful truth about change is that it begins with small steps. Many people overwhelm themselves by thinking they must completely reinvent their life in one moment, but real transformation is built day by day, decision by decision. Choosing to wake up earlier, choosing to practice gratitude, choosing to forgive, choosing to try again. These small actions accumulate into massive change over time. You do not need to leap 1,000 miles today. You only need to take one step in the right direction. Fear will try to stop you from changing. It will whisper that you are not ready, not strong enough, or not capable. But fear is only powerful when you allow it to control you. Every time you face fear and take action anyway, you weaken its hold on you. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the decision to move forward despite it. Change requires courage because stepping into the unknown will always feel uncomfortable. But discomfort is proof that you are growing, and growth is the very essence of transformation. Change also demands consistency. It is not enough to decide once, you must decide every day. Transformation is not a single event. It is a lifestyle. Discipline is what turns intentions into reality. There will be days when motivation feels distant, but discipline will carry you when your emotions cannot. If you want your life to transform, you must be willing to remain committed long after the excitement has faded. That is how lasting change is built, through persistence and resilience. The power to change is also about letting go. To step into a new version of yourself, you must be willing to release the old one. That means letting go of toxic habits, toxic people, limiting beliefs, and even versions of yourself that no longer serve you. Holding on to the past only weighs you down. By releasing it, you make space for new opportunities, new growth, and new beginnings. Change requires trust. The trust that even if you don't have all the answers now, you are capable of figuring them out along the way. When you finally embrace that the power has always been yours, life begins to shift in extraordinary ways. You stop seeing obstacles as permanent walls and start seeing them as temporary challenges. You stop waiting for others to validate you and start validating yourself. You stop waiting for life to hand you opportunities and start creating them. You realize that nothing is stronger than a mind made up and a heart committed to change. The power to change is not reserved for a chosen few. It is available to everyone. The difference lies in who chooses to use it. The moment you truly decide that your life will no longer stay the same, you ignite a force within you that nothing can extinguish. It may not be easy and it may not be instant, but it will be worth it. Because the greatest transformation you will ever experience begins not when the world changes for you, but when you change for yourself.